Here we are in Groß-Umstadt at the Board of Forestry and Forestry Technology, KWF. My name is Lars Nick. I've worked here for 15 years and I'm responsible for testing and certification of personal protective equipment. The KWF in its present form has existed for over 50 years. We're an incorporated association recognized as a charitable organization. Our mission is to promote technical progress in forestry through applied research and practical application testing, what are called utility value tests. We do that by issuing items of equipment and also personal protective apparel to forestry professionals who test them for us. We're a European notified test center. That means that we can carry out EU-type approval testing for machines that come under Annex 4, specifically chainsaws and personal protective equipment for use with handheld chainsaws, the familiar cut-resistant trousers. My job as certifier is to issue the approval on completion of testing. Anyone using a chainsaw nowadays needs cut-resistant trousers. There have been lots of accidents since chainsaws were invented, because the protective fibers used back then were only able to deflect cuts from smooth blades like knives, but those fibers were no match for the slicing, ripping, cutting action of a chainsaw. So in the late 80s and early 90s, new blocking safety fibers were developed that are now incorporated into the products as such, or in slightly modified form. If an accident occurs, these fibers are ripped out of the trousers and wind themselves around the drive sprocket of the chainsaw, effectively stopping it before the user's leg can be injured. These cut-resistant trousers in their present form have been on the market for about 20 years, or maybe as long as 30 years now. They've proved to be very effective. Before these cut-resistant trousers were introduced, the accident figures in Germany alone, to my knowledge, came to some 600 injuries, some of them very serious. Following the introduction of cut-resistant trousers, that figure has been virtually marginalized. We did some research of our own and found that for around 1,000 professional foresters, there'll be roughly 2 to 3 cut injuries per year, of varying severity. But 2/3 of those injuries are due to cuts in unprotected areas, and so they could not have been avoided by using cut-resistant trousers of a higher protection class. Cut-resistant trousers are available in different protection classes. Protection Class 1, which was tested in the laboratory at 20 meters per second, today accounts for well over 95% of the market, and that has always been the case, ever since these cut-resistant trousers came onto the market. The accident statistics show that there are thus very few accidents nowadays, no severing accidents at any rate, and this test method has therefore proven fully reliable. Cut-resistant trousers in higher protection classes, 2 or even 3, would inevitably be thicker, warmer and more rigid. That causes ergonomic stresses. The real accident hotspot in forestry today is tripping and slipping accidents caused by tiredness. There's no way of knowing how increased use of heavier duty protective trousers would impact on these tripping and slipping accidents. All we know is that modern Class 1 cut-resistant trousers can reliably prevent cuts. There's no such thing as 100% protection, but most of the accidents that occur happen due to cuts in unprotected areas, and so they could not be prevented by using a higher protection class. In a Class 1 laboratory test, I have a total of 6 parameters that I have to set up on the test bench which affect the cut result. The chain speed is only one such parameter. This has been selected from a practical point of view in order to simulate various energy inputs during testing. But the other 5 parameters are just as relevant. In other words, I cannot reflect every conceivable accident situation, only an average one. Something similar happens in the European car crash test. in which a car is driven at an angle into a concrete wall at a speed of 64 kilometers per hour. In reality, the cars travel quite a bit faster than 64 kilometers per hour, yet the level of protection is regarded as sufficient. Whereas here, with the cut-resistant trousers, obviously there are chainsaws on the market with a maximum speed greater than 20 meters per second. However, even these chainsaws rarely, if ever, cut right through the cut-resistant trousers. Therefore, here at KWF, we're of the opinion that Protection Class 1 is perfectly sufficient for cut-resistant trousers. The trousers haven't been cut through and no contact with the user's leg has occurred. They've passed the Class 1 cut test on the KWF Cut Protection Test Bench.